Well, technology continues to bring us together and allow a lot of daily operations to continue. One of those is within the court system. Although some cases have been put on hold, many other proceedings are moving forward. Doug Carter joins us now from Doug Carter and Associates in Johnson City with more. And Doug, thanks so much for joining us via Skype.
Thank you very much. This is really an unusual time for our courts because they're closed. For the first time in over 40 years of law practice, we're having to deal long distance with the judges and with our clients, at least through the end of the month of April, and probably a lot further than that if things don't change. But there are certain types of cases that the courts are still listening to and hearing.
And so, of course, technology playing a big role. Doug, tell me a little bit about how you're continuing to work with your clients, because I know those issues certainly don't go away.
No, they certainly don't. Our office is open. We're practicing distancing here in the office. If people want to come in, they can come in, but we're going to keep you at arm's length and 6 feet away. But if you don't want to come into the office, we're using either Zoom or Skype to meet with clients remotely. Either of those are secure applications where, as you probably know, attorney-client relationships are pretty much sacred, and we want those to remain confidential between us and our clients. The big important thing right now, though, is the fact that when you're dealing with the courts, even though the courts themselves are closed, a lot of the deadlines are still there. We still have to file cases within the time limits that are set up. You still have people that have emergencies that come up that the courts will hear, like orders of protection, custody matters, and similar things like that. And of course, with all the uncertainty with people going to the hospital and not being able to communicate with family, there are several things that we probably need to do besides just wills that we can do remotely.
Yeah, you mentioned certainly this is unprecedented times, but it's also bringing up a lot of things that we really should be doing anyway. You mentioned wills, a lot of things associated with that. You say now is really the time to start thinking about and having those conversations.
Well, one of the things that people haven't thought about, or a lot of people haven't, are what happens if you're in the hospital and you're unable, because you're on a ventilator or because you're in ICU or in isolation, to talk to your family. It's important to tell them and your doctors what you want to do. And there are two simple forms that we can fill out that take care of that. One is called a healthcare directive. That's what used to be called a living will. And what it does is it tells your doctors, do these things if I'm sick, and there's nobody there to make the decisions. The second is a healthcare designee, and that's a form where you name one or two people or even more to make decisions for you if you can't make them for yourself. And those are simple forms. We can fill them out in just a few minutes, and they tell the doctors, they tell your family, all the things that you need to do. A will is important too. The will is important because in 40 years of law practice, I've seen families that get along great until somebody dies. And then you've got all kinds of issues that arise. I can use one anecdote from my own family. When my grandmother died, my mother was one of 9 children. And I had 2 aunts, though, that both of whom had been promised a family clock. It's similar to the one up here behind me. Not the same clock. But in that case, one aunt went to the house after the funeral and she got the clock. And for the next 20 plus years, those 2 sisters never spoke to each other because that darn clock was a problem.
Yep.
If you do a will, you tell your family, this is what I want done, and they're going to do it, and the courts are going to enforce it. We can do a simple will. You can come by and sign them outdoors, we'll step out and let you sign them, and we'll witness them outside. You don't have to come in the office if you don't want to. There are a lot of things we can do remotely while we're in this limbo to represent our clients and to do it safely and fairly.
All right. Well, certainly a lot of information and some good advice. Doug, thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us today.
Well, if somebody wants to find out what to do, be sure and call us here at Doug Carter Law. You can look up the number, and I'm sure they'll have it on the screen in a few minutes.
All right. We will give them that information right now. Doug, you stay well. Take care, okay?
Thank you.
All right, here is that information. They are located, of course, right here in downtown Johnson City. You can check out the website or give their office a call for more information. The preceding portion of Daytime Tri-Cities was sponsored by